Back in Nigeria, my husband and I never shared bill 50-50. We didn't even talk about the sharing formula. And for some reason, we didn't need a formula. We handle big projects together. And for the routine expenses, we just handle as it comes. And we never had money issues. We didn't pay rent for many years because we were living in our own property, for a very long time. So imagine the twist when we moved abroad and suddenly rent has a word, you know, just found its way into our vocabularies. It is the baba of all the expenses. And this is the same for most households, whether it is rent or mortgage, it's just the highest recurring expense abroad. How do you split this in your home? How are expenses in general split? Naturally, many couples would think, let's just split everything 50-50. It sounds fair, It doesn't always mean fair. And in many cases, it quietly breaks families. The argument is always, we are living in the house together, we're both working, we should share the expenses equally. I'll share with you my thoughts on why I think this is not fair. And the first one is where the couple have unequal earnings or unequal income. One partner may have a great job in their profession, while the other may have a survival job or lower wages. Asking that they both contribute the same amount to the household expenses doesn't seem fair. And this sort of creates silent resentment. The second one is where the invisible work in the house is ignored. Who cooks? Who cleans? Who takes the kids to school? Who manages family logistics? How is that shared? These responsibilities don't show up on a job description or even on the payslip, but they are real work. So if you only measure contribution by money, you underplay or undervalue the person carrying most of the household, work. Then the third one, pressure and burnout can affect that one partner, because if you are a low earning partner, you may have to keep up. You may have to keep multiple jobs just to be able to keep up with the 50-50, and eventually resentment comes in and then crack in the marriage, because it starts from all the simple complaints and arguments here and there. But the real issue is the stress. And I also think it kills that spirit of partnership. It's supposed to be a we thing. It's not me versus you. When couples sort of obsess over who pays for what, it becomes transactional and they end up living like flatmates. And over time, that love they have for each other gets replaced with, scorekeeping. I do this, you do that. So those are the reasons I believe it's not fair. So what would I suggest as alternatives? I would say talk about your income openly with your partner. Sometimes this is where the problem lies. We hoard that information because we don't trust our partner. Have financial transparency. You see, secrets and assumptions about money can cause tension. If you can set up regular family finance check-ins where both partners review expenses, goals, progress together. I have a money conversation starter that you can use with your partner to sort of, open up this conversation around money, expenses, goals, anything financials. And if you want it, please just comment conversation in the comment and I'll send it to you. This is always good for you to start that money conversation because it is important. It is one of the reasons marriages break abroad, and we want to ensure that this doesn't happen to our marriage. So it's best to start having those conversations. Okay, so instead of 50-50 split of expenses, some couples thrive with a percentage model. So for example, each person contributes, say, 30 or 40% of their income to the family expenses. That way, the higher earner contributes more, but both carry equal weight relative to their earnings. I have some male friends who prefer to do more, so long as they can afford it and doesn't absolve them from helping out at home, then I think it's fine. Because this is sort of rooted in our culture that men are supposed to do more, or sometimes even all. But this conversation is necessary abroad because the pressures are higher. The woman may even be earning more and the man covering all the expenses, because it's the man, can be very challenging and can lead to some resentments. We also have to always acknowledge non-financial contributions. And I say this a lot. Household management, childcare, emotional support, these things matter. A family isn't just built on money. It is built on shared responsibility. It's about 100%. Each person giving their best in money, in time, in love, in sacrifice. 100% all the time. Let's break that narrative that people abroad can't hold down marriages. We can and we will. If you want to know why most marriages break abroad, you should see this next video. And I will see you there.